Alrighty, we're live. Alright, so, I guess pretty much, how am I gonna explain this? This Coaster Time episode will be a little bit different from my other ones simply because, it's just that, there were some things that kind of happened last minute, but it's all good. So basically, I'm gonna be doing this live stream pretty much by myself here, this Coaster Time stream, and, because I don't really have an intro ready, I'm just gonna, do a Q&A for the first 10 minutes, so you guys can just ask me whatever questions you want. I'll explain kind of the whole thing with pretty much Coast Tunes. He wasn't able to make it pretty much just because he had to be somewhere to be able to do the stream. He was traveling overnight, and there was a bit of a delay there, so he couldn't make it, and it just didn't seem like today was going to be the best day, so I am still planning to have him just on a different weekend. We'll have to figure out another weekend to do it, but that's pretty much what happened there. I'll probably mention it again toward the beginning when more people are coming in. So yeah, this one's going to be pretty much me by myself doing the stream, and I'll start right now with a early Q&A, so more people can come in right around 12, because I guess that's technically when the stream officially starts. So ask any questions you want, and I guess I'll also say there will be a few differences with the segments today. I'm still going to be doing news, I'm still going to be doing the quiz, I'm still going to be doing YouTube shoutouts, but I will not be doing the 1 out of 10 or the questions for the viewers, just because I had those are pretty hard to come up with, and I don't want to use them up, but I'm going to kind of put in some other segments to kind of test some new things, so that's kind of the plan there. So yeah, but any questions you have, yeah, make sure to ask me. And that'll be that. Yeah, I know this is kind of a weird thing just because it's not usual for my episodes, but that's how we're going to roll with, through it today. Carolina Enthusiast asks, if I could only go to 3 parks for the rest of my life, what 3 parks would I go to? And keep in mind the variety of coasters you'd be able to ride. Ooh, that is tough. So you want somewhere pretty revisitable, and I'm trying to think of places. Man, if it were the ones I've been to, Cedar Point definitely would be one of them. Cedar Point, actually, if it were the ones I've been to, probably Cedar Point, Hershey Park, and Magic Mountain, just because you have a pretty good variety of coasters there. If it were any in the entire world, Cedar Point would still be one of them. Just because they have such a great variety. I don't know what I would pick for the other 2, honestly, just because that's very difficult. Would I want to incorporate more of a theme park, sort of? I'm not so sure. Like maybe would I want to put in like Tokyo Disney Sea? I'm not so sure because they don't really have good coasters. And I don't know if that's somewhere that's insanely revisitable. So I don't know about that. That's a hard question, but I like it. How did my visit to Magic Mountain go when I got sick? I kind of got over it not too long after I got sick. Like I basically just rode the B&Ms back to back to back. I rode Batman, Scream, and Riddler's Revenge. Yeah, back to back to back. And I had probably too much food earlier, and that's probably what happened. But after I kind of had my, a little bit afterwards, I was fine. So it went all right, all things considered. It was just kind of a roadblock for a little bit. But yeah, man, if this thing's right, only 2 viewers. That's crazy. Maybe the guests really do matter that much. I didn't know they would have. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see how this goes. How did my visit go at Six Flags Magic... Wait, no, that was the question I already asked. No, that's... Here it is. Okay, Cedar Point, Nagashima Spa-Land, and probably Magic Mountain. Those are good picks there, Carolina Enthusiasts. Yeah. Those are some pretty good picks. Nagashima, I don't know about Nagashima. I mean, I could kind of see it, but... Cedar Point and Magic Mountain I could see. I don't know that I would pick Magic Mountain just because the park itself has a lot of things that are frustrating to me, so don't know if that would be the best pick, but yeah. Oh, also, I guess, so, I mean, I've already been talking for a while, but let me know if the audio's good or if it's like too loud or anything, because I made a slight change. I don't think it should have changed anything too much, but yeah. No plans on going to Carowinds. As of right now, I think plans to go out of state are kind of dead. Just because I feel like things are I think things are progressing, but things are still going to be kind of weird this summer with all the restrictions and everything. So I'll probably wait and not go to any like new parks I want to do just in this situation. If I can avoid it, I'll do that. And plus the California parks are opening, so yeah, that's probably the plan. I plan on going back to Magic Mountain, which I'll actually mention in my news announcements. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna be doing that in mid-April probably. So that's pretty great. I do want to go back to Disneyland because I haven't been since 2012. Also, I'm probably getting a Six Flags season pass, so maybe Discovery Kingdom's on the table. A lot of parks I want to revisit around here. So I think I'll be plenty busy without going out of state. Maybe I will, but it's seeming less and less likely just because I would want to avoid it given the circumstances. Yeah. Which park would I rather go to? Great Adventure or Dollywood? Dollywood 100%. I know Great Adventure does have the superior coaster collection, but Dollywood does have lightning rods, so it's fine, and the park overall looks really good. So yeah. Stamford Bridge, I started early just because usually I start early with the intro screen, but I didn't have one ready just because. So I'm doing an early Q&A first, and then so technically the stream hasn't really started, but I'm just doing an early Q&A. Then I'm gonna go into the news at 12. Although my thing's showing here that there aren't that many viewers on, which I don't know why that is. Yeah, I decided to start a little early, and I'm just doing an early Q&A. Yeah. Alrighty, do I think Skycar or Steel Dolphin looks better? Tough to say. Skycar definitely looks like it has the better launch. It's definitely the more intense ride. But Steel Dolphin looks like insanely fun. So that one's pretty tough. But I think I would have to go with Skycar, but both of them look really good. Steel Dolphin probably is the more fun ride overall. Skycar is probably the ride I would prefer, but I don't know. I mean, I'd have to ride both of them. I might be totally wrong on that, but both look pretty nice and pretty underrated. Yeah. You may go to Florida to do Iron Gwazi and Velocicoaster. I had Florida on my mind, but really the problem I have with going to Florida is that I really don't know when Iron Gwazi and all that stuff's gonna open. And the single rider lines at Universal, I've heard, are such a time saver. But they don't really have those open right now. So, and with all the new rides opening, they're gonna be super popular, I would think. So, for me, my thing I would like to do if possible, if I could, I don't know if it'll happen at all, but if I could do Florida next year, that would be really nice. I think it would be great if I was able to do that. Wouldn't do Disney World though, just because they would have new rides opening up, but that would kind of be like my idea. Like I said, there's no way that's even confirmed at all. It would just be nice. That's all I'm saying. GCI or Gravity Group? Gravity Group all the way. I've never even ridden a Gravity Group coaster, but I'm gonna go with Gravity Group. Shambhala or Flying Aces? That one's pretty tough. Honestly, I think Flying Aces, assuming the thing runs well, because I've seen POVs where it runs terribly. But I think if it runs well, I'm gonna pick Flying Aces. So, yeah. Favorite Nintendo game, either Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, yeah, Steel Dolphin when it is actually running. Yeah, I've heard there's been some issues with that. Yeah. Yes, I started 10 minutes early. It's because, I didn't have an intro screen ready. That's pretty much why. But, I do see now it is 12 or 3 p.m. Eastern time, so I guess I will officially start the stream. So hopefully more people come in here, as the minutes roll on. But anyways, I guess I'll just kind of go through the intro here. So with that being said, welcome to the 13th episode of Coaster Time. And today this stream is going to be a little bit different than some of my other Coaster Time streams. If you were here earlier, I kind of already explained this. I was hoping to have Coast Tunes here today, as you probably saw. And that couldn't work out. He needed to be at a certain place at a certain time. Today, he was traveling from one place to another. He thought he would be there by the time the stream started. That did not work out. It didn't sound like it was going to be able to happen today, so that's going to be rescheduled. I will have him on, hopefully, just on another date, but that will not be happening today. I will be doing this completely by myself. And I will also be, I'll still be doing most of the segments, but I'll also be changing some of the other ones, basically. That's kind of how, and you'll kind of see that as I go. But the quiz, that's still happening. I have the code up pinned already, so there's that. And with that being said, I'm going to go straight into the news, so yeah. That's pretty much going to be that. So with that said, let's head right into the news. And our first bit of news is that, if actually I can get it up here. Here we go. Croc Drop at Chessington World of Adventures is opening on April 12th. This is, of course, in the United Kingdom. It looks like a pretty nice ride. It's an SBF Visa drop tower. Looks pretty cool. Nothing too crazy, but a nice ride for the UK. Actually, all the major ride openings I saw over the last week or two have been UK openings, so you'll kind of see that with the next few, such as Gangsta Granny, which will be a dark ride going to Alton Towers. That will open on May 17th. Looks pretty cool. I'll be curious to hear the reviews for that, just because it seems like an interesting ride system. In ride overall. And then for another ride that's opening in the UK, we have World of Mythica at Legoland Windsor, which is opening on May 29th. So those are the three major rides I heard that were opening. There might be more, honestly, but these are the ones I heard of. So let me know in the chat what you guys think. I'll be doing more reactionary stuff to your comments on the news, just because I don't have a guest with me. That was kind of the plan. So I'll kind of be reacting to the comments as they come along. So yeah. April 12th is a holy day for UK enthusiasts. Yeah, you get Tornado Springs, which I mentioned in the last stream, and then you get Croc Drop. Hershey Addict I just saw. Where's Coast Tunes? I mentioned it earlier. He couldn't be here due to a time conflict. He had to be at a specific place. He wasn't able to make it. We're gonna be doing a stream later. I did change the thumbnail and everything, so I kind of put it on the community post and everything that it'll be rescheduled. But I'm gonna be doing this stream myself, so that was kind of the plan today. Just because he couldn't make it. So if you weren't here to hear that, then that's pretty much what happened with that. So yeah. He might go to Legoland Windsor for the first time this year. Nice, Mr. Cola Roaster. Yeah, it looks pretty nice actually for a Legoland park. So yeah. But those are the new ride openings, and with that being said, I'll move on to the testing news. I've actually sorted it out this week by opening and testing. Of course, Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland in Belgium was testing this week. Obviously, the ride looked like it was definitely going faster than it wouldn't be when it will actually open, but it really opened my eyes to see how insane this coaster could really be. definitely made me a lot more excited for this ride just because it already has a really good layout, an amazing layout really, but coupled with the fact that you're spinning, and if the pacing is better than I would have expected, this ride's going to be amazing. And I can totally understand why people have it as their most anticipated coaster of next year. So that's that. Another ride that tested this week was Monster at Gronalund. The first drop looked really good. The inversions, it seemed a little slow, but it was its first test run, so hard to say. But the first drop looked amazing, so that's good to see for sure. The ride should be pretty fun overall. So that's Monster at Gronalund. Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg is testing. It keeps looking better and better for me. The ride's going to be absolutely insane. My most anticipated coaster in the United States for 2021. Maybe even my most anticipated coaster in the United States in general. I would have to think about that more, but honestly, it might be there at this point. This ride looks absolutely insane. So, great to see it testing finally, as it finally went over to Top Hat, I believe yesterday. So that's pretty good to see. And then Dragon Slayer at Adventureland was also tested. This is the custom SNS 40 free spin, and looks like a nice addition for Adventureland. Nothing too much to say from me, at least I don't have too much to say here, but looks like a nice ride. So that's all the testing. I'll go back to the comments. Yeah, Pantheon, it looks insane. It looked really good, so that's really exciting. Ride to Happiness is, yeah, the name is not good, but I think everyone knows that. Yeah, for Monster, it is a modern B&M invert, so it's not going to be that, like, super whippy coaster you would have expected from, like, the 90s, so it kind of makes sense, but the first drop still looks really good, so I like seeing that. But it was just interesting to see for sure. Yeah, at least Monster has the normal restraints, like the over-the-shoulder, not the vest restraints, so that's pretty nice. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Aquaman and Sidewinder Safari are the only US coasters that are probably like 2022 that you can think of. Seems like it. Yeah, we'll kind of have to see how that goes. Well, actually, the Disney World coasters are not opening this year, so that also. But yeah, alrighty. So that's all the testing, and then we'll go into our other news, which the first of which is pretty unfortunate. Dragon at Ocean Park. This was an aero looper at Ocean Park in Hong Kong. Technically, it was the oldest coaster in China, operating coaster, if you counted Hong Kong as part of that. So that has been removed. Pretty unfortunate, but kind of expected. It was said it was going to be removed, but now it's officially been removed. So pretty sad there, but I guess it was kind of expected. Apocalypse, the Intamin Drop Tower at Drayton Manor, has been put up for sale. This one has a tilting and standing, like kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like I guess seating style. So it's pretty unique, and it is up for sale now. So that was pretty interesting. And then we have Six Flags New Orleans. This kind of news kind of went way under the radar. It's really weird, but anyways, obviously Six Flags New Orleans has been abandoned forever. It's been used as kind of like a filming site for a little bit, but it's pretty much just abandoned. But recently, 3 different plans to use the land that the park once sat on, they are being considered right now. One of the plans was to repurpose the area that the park sat on and make it into a learning center with farms more focused on education and agriculture, which is backed by a bunch of companies, including an organization that is backed by Drew Brees and other NFL players. The other plan, which was from someone else, is from Citus Development, which would involve building an RV park with a water park attached to it with some large stores. And then the third plan by TKTMJ, I believe. Don't know exactly who they are, but their plan would be to make Six Flags New Orleans a new amusement park I guess closer to what it originally was. I guess it's the closest thing to what you would be getting to Six Flags New Orleans actually coming back, but it wouldn't actually be Six Flags New Orleans. But those three plans kind of came out this week, and the decision on which plan to go with will be decided at some point in the next few months by city officials. Pretty interesting news just because, or just maybe not even news, but just interesting just in general, just because it's like this area, no one's used it for so long, so it's pretty crazy. But yeah, curious to see what you guys have to say about this, just because. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, another dragon rip. Yeah, we had dragon last year at Adventureland already go, so yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, the Intamin drop towers are dropping like flies. Yeah, we just had Superman Tower of Power close. Well, yeah, I guess it closed last year technically, but now it's officially closed. But yeah. Oh, there's actually 6 plans, but the city only cares about these 3. Well, if these are the ones they're considering, then I kind of don't care for the other ones, I guess. Because at the end of the day, I only am interested in the ones they actually are considering. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with this thing. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna restore Mega Zeph and all the other rides. I think those are far beyond repair. But yeah, we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, that was a long time to go on that sort of segment. But yeah, I guess you could consider this as testing, but I also only found out about this coaster recently. But I guess I just kind of included it with all these other things. But Golden Horse is testing their new LSM Launch Coaster. Basically, the coaster is like, if you saw the video of it, it looks like an Intamin half pipe, but it has like B&M dive coaster style track. It's very weird. If you look up the video, I actually have it in the description, the link to it. It looks super weird. And I guess it can't even have a splashdown, which is really weird. This ride just looks so bizarre, but it is interesting, and it's definitely newsworthy just because I didn't even know about this thing, so it was just pretty weird. So that's that. Zamperla has unveiled a new flat ride called Gryphon, or Gryphon, I don't know how to pronounce that. But it looks pretty fun. Looks like it can have like it's very much like there's a ride model that already exists that I believe it's very similar to, but I don't remember what it's called. But it does look pretty fun. The sideways motion, maybe you might get some like weird like airtime sensations on it. I'm not really sure. I haven't done a ride like this, so but it looks pretty fun. Hopefully we see some of these actually go to some parks. That would be pretty cool. In other news, actually, there's a lot more news to Lake Compounce. Like they redid their logo. They're doing a lot of like they're I guess bringing in new restaurants and other things of that sort. Which I guess I'll also mention. But the big thing I heard about was that the Haunted Graveyard, which is their big Halloween haunt event, is actually leaving Lake Compounce because Haunted Graveyard is owned by someone else separately than Lake Compounce, but I guess they just use the park. They're actually going to a different location, and they're going to actually expand Haunted Graveyard, so that's how that's going to go. And Lake Compounce is going to create a new Halloween event. I know some people really love this Halloween event, so I'm curious about what people think of this. I've heard mixed things on it. Might be good, might be bad, but I would think that it might not be the best thing because I heard this was like a huge draw to the park, so probably not the best thing. But yeah, I guess I'll go back to the comments now. But let's see what we got here. Golden Horse is underrated. The lead car looks like Manta's. Yeah, it looks super weird. Like I said, you should check out the footage of it. I have a link in the description. Someone put it on their Facebook. It looks so weird. But yeah. But yes. Yeah, Gryphon looks like a glorified wave swinger. Yeah, it looks pretty fun. But yeah. And yeah, I had heard really good things about Haunted Graveyard, so it's interesting. But I guess if you still want to do it, they're just moving somewhere else, but still in the same like sort of area. So I guess it's not too bad. Um, but it is just kind of interesting. So yeah. And then we got our last two bits of news, which are pretty major actually. Clementon Park in New Jersey has been sold for $2.37 million to Indiana Park Holdings, which is, of course, the company that owns Indiana Beach. Basically, Gene Staples, yeah, he bought another park. Seems pretty exciting. Good to hear that this park will be saved. Hopefully, this park gets the, like, kind of attention it deserves, like just in terms of maintenance and everything. Just because it seemed like this park was pretty heavily neglected, and hopefully Hellcat can get fixed up. But yeah, pretty good news here for Clementon Park. It seems like a pretty good thing. Some people are concerned about how they're going to be able to split kind of like the attention and the work between Clementon Park and Indiana Beach. I'm sure they have that figured out. But definitely good to hear for Clementon Park that it won't be biting the dust. And then our last bit of news is, of course, that Disneyland California Resort has unveiled a new proposal that includes a major expansion to both Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. Pretty big news here. For Disneyland Resort, this would be basically the largest news since basically Disney's California Adventure. If this was to go through, basically they would be able to use the plot of land on the other side of, I guess, this street. They can connect it through a bridge, and that way they would be able to put in even more new lands for the parks, because both parks are pretty landlocked as is. So it's definitely interesting to see this, and hopefully it goes through, because this would be very exciting. I would love to see this. And it's pretty surprising that they would come out with this. This kind of came out of nowhere, so but very exciting to see. But yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. Indiana Beach is becoming the next park chain. Who knows? I don't know if they're looking into buying any more parks, but it's definitely looking pretty good. Like now that they have both Indiana Beach and Clementon, that's pretty good. So yeah. Yeah, Fantasy Island. Who even knows what's going to happen with that? I don't even know what's going on there at this point. Would be interesting if somehow, I don't even know if it's even possible, but if Indiana Beach could somehow swoop in and get Fantasy Island, but maybe at that point they're doing too much. I don't know, but yeah. It would be nice to save Fantasy Island for sure. For Silver Comet, but of course for the park in general as well. So yeah. And I guess this isn't like coaster news related, but I'll have some channel announcements here, which I kind of hinted at earlier. So here they are. Actually, and I'm gonna have to get rid of this thing because it's in the way. But yeah, so basically, if you didn't hear earlier, it is very likely that next month I will be going to Six Flags Magic Mountain for the first time since 2019. Should be very exciting. I won't say what day I'm doing because I'm not planning to do a meetup just because of the circumstances. So I'm not going to announce when I'm going exactly. But if you do see me there, feel free to say hello. That would absolutely be awesome. But I'm not going to do a meetup here. And then after I do a visit to Magic Mountain, I'll probably do a live stream kind of giving my updated thoughts on certain coasters and just doing a Q&A. That won't necessarily be a coaster time stream, but I'll probably do that just because. But that kind of depends on how my visit goes and if I'm able to do a whole lot, which I think I will. Yeah. The second bit of a potential announcement is if you remember last year, for those who have been around for a while, I actually did a live stream on the night of the NFL draft, which is on April 29th this year. And I was considering doing it again. If you didn't see it, basically I kind of bounced between Q&A for like coasters and stuff. Like even if you aren't into the NFL, I still think that you can watch it if you're just kind of bored that night, just watching it because I kind of bounce in between like questions that people have, because I know there's some coaster enthusiasts who actually care about football, and I basically did my reactions to the picks there, but I kind of bounce between the stuff. It sounds super weird when I explain it, but if you kind of saw the stream, it would make a lot more sense. But I was just curious if anyone was even interested in that at all. I'll probably do a poll on it to see if where the interest is on if anyone actually wants to see me do this. It's just something I was thinking about. So yeah, that was the second thing. And then the third thing is that I'll be trying to release the next 2 under the radar coaster videos next month. I wanted to release one this month. It just couldn't happen because of all the school stuff and everything. But that should happen next month, hopefully. At least one of them will be next month. I can guarantee that. But yeah. So that's pretty much it. I'll kind of, when I do the poll, I guess I'll probably get more information about the thing. Like I said, if you're not interested in the NFL, you can probably still enjoy it, just because, like I said, I kind of bounce between things. But I can understand. I'm just kind of curious where the interest is. But yeah, alrighty. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I got. I'll kind of go through the chat and kind of see what you guys think, last things, and then we'll head into the quiz, which I actually should open up this time and not completely mess that up like I did last time. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull the thing up, and okay, people should be able to get in. So I guess I'll just put up the quiz code on the screen. So you guys can ask me questions. I'll be looking through the chat for the last few things. And then while you're doing that, you can get onto the quiz, which I have pinned on the chat, I think, as well. So that'll be how that goes. But yeah. Alrighty. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, okay. We have some people who are NFL fans. It's good. I wouldn't do the draft as a Discord exclusive thing. That would not be how I would handle that, just because it would be YouTube. I'm not going to do that on Discord only. Yeah. I understand the idea, but no, it would be here on YouTube. Unless there was something that really changed my mind. So yeah. But yeah, so yeah, you guys can ask me any questions you want right now while you guys are getting into the quiz. That'll pretty much, like I said, lead into the quiz once I see more people have come on. So yeah, that'll be pretty much that. A certified Patriots and Ravens hater, also a Steelers fan. Nice. I just saw that from Millie Man. Yeah, that whole thing, it'll be interesting. Like I said, if you're interested, I still do have the stream up from last year, but keep in mind, if you do watch it, it was with I did it with a phone and like a lavalier mic, so it definitely doesn't look anything like this stream, but the people who watched it seem to enjoy it. So yeah, that's pretty much that. But like I said, you guys can ask any questions you want right now. Q&A pretty much. And then, like I said, we'll do the quiz. Although I guess I'll say, for one of the things that I'm going to change, I'm not going to do what out of 10 today, and I'm not going to do the questions for the viewers, because both of those, and the topics, I guess, just because a lot of that kind of had there was a lot of it that kind of went with Coast Tunes, who couldn't make it, so I just kind of feel like I was going to save it for later, so when he could come on, because some of the questions actually kind of relate to some of his videos he made. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm going to handle that. But to replace those segments, I'm going to kind of go over 25 of my most anticipated coasters for 2021. My list has kind of changed. I won't go super in depth on it, but I'll just kind of go through some coasters. Also, I'm sure there's going to be some on there that some of you guys have never heard of, so that's going to be nice. And I'm also going to do Guess the Coaster, which 808 Coaster Life did on his stream. I'm going to be doing something pretty similar to that. If you guys kind of saw that, I'm going to be trying that just to see how that goes. So a few differences in today's stream, but yeah, that's how it's going to be. Looks like, I guess I'll just start the stream. Oh, what's the latest progress on Six Flags Fresno? Um, really funny thing. I think I mentioned this, but Discovery Kingdom, there was this like false rumor that Six Flags was looking into moving Discovery Kingdom from Vallejo to Fresno. It only was like a few months ago when that was like going around. It wasn't true, but it was pretty funny. So just kind of seeing that all go down. Don't know what the actual progress on it is, but yeah. Looks like with that being said, though, it doesn't look like there's too many other questions. Oh, I do see one. Okay. I have never been bitten by a spider in general, so never at an amusement park, but yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be moving on to the quiz right now then, just because it seems like the people that we have on are all on the quiz, so I'm gonna be starting with that pretty quickly here. And if I could get it up here. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, here we go. Here's the quiz. And I'm going to be starting it in 3, 2, 1. Well, I'll probably delay for you guys on there, but yeah, you guys get it. First question is, what year did Canada's Wonderland first open? And no using RCDB for this. That's pretty dang obvious, but also don't use Google or anything like that. Unless I guess unless you're actually, no, there is no reason to do it. No, there is no reason to do it because there's no typing in answers. It's not like Sporkle where it's like you might mess up on a name or something. Correct answer is 1981. Opened on May 23rd, 1981. So yeah, that's the first question. Second question is, how many inversions did Volcano the Blast Coaster have? Of course, one of the most missed defunct coasters of all time. So, should be pretty interesting. Should be a pretty easy question, but I'm not sure because I didn't get to ride this, and I imagine probably plenty of you didn't get to ride it either. But I'm sure we have some people here who've ridden it, so yeah. And the correct answer is 4 inversions. So, yes, and it seems actually a lot of variety in answers, so pretty interesting. But yeah, it does have 4 inversions. Pretty crazy. Next question is, Rewind Racers operates at what park? So what park does Rewind Racers operate at? This is the Gersar family shuttle coaster. So yeah, which park does this operate at? And the correct answer is Adventure City, which most of you got, which I'm not too surprised. I got some people on Adventureland and Freeway Park. That I don't know. It's just, I guess, since it was like kind of road themed and car themed, it seemed to make sense as kind of a fake name. The next question is, how tall is Maverick at Cedar Point? And this is the height, not the drop. So yeah. And I just realized Mr. Cola Roaster is in first, with Coaster Scorpion in second, Lindsay in third, First Drop in fourth, and 808 Coaster Life in fifth. So that's how that's going. And the correct answer for this question is Maverick, which is 105 feet tall with a 100-foot drop. Yeah. Next question is, true or false, Anaconda at Happy Valley Wuhan is manufactured by Beijing Shibali? Actually, I don't know how to pronounce that. Shibali? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but basically the company that makes a knockoff of the Mauer Skyloop. Basically, is this a Mauer Skyloop or is it a knockoff? I guess is the actual question. And the correct answer is false. This was actually manufactured by Mauer, so it is an official Mauer Skyloop. So yeah, 50-50 right there. Pretty tough because that's pretty specific. So yeah. Next question is, how fast is Medusa Steel Coaster at Six Flags Mexico? Obviously, one of my favorite coasters of all time. I believe my number 5 overall. Yeah, it is my number 5 overall. So yeah, Medusa Steel Coaster, really good ride. But how fast does it go? And Mr. Cola Roaster still holding on to first place. And the correct answer is 58 miles per hour. Mr. Cola Roaster is very much holding on to that first place lead. So, can anyone catch up? Next question is, who manufactured Texas Giant? Was it CCI? Was it Opus Group? Was it RCCA? Or was it DIN? Who manufactured not New Texas? I meant to say Texas Giant if I said New Texas Giant. Obviously, RMC did New Texas Giant, but they did not do the original. So, who manufactured Texas Giant? And the correct answer is DIN. DIN was the one who actually manufactured this thing. I'm surprised that a lot of you guessed CCI. I thought I would have gotten more people on RCCA, but yeah, that's what we got right now. Next question is, what country has no B&M coasters? Is it Vietnam? Is it Taiwan? Is it the Netherlands? Or is it Turkey? Which one of these countries has no B&M coasters? The answer might be pretty surprising. I'll say that. And the correct answer is Turkey. Turkey has 0 B&M coasters. Taiwan actually has a B&M dive coaster, believe it or not. So that's pretty crazy that they actually have that, considering how tiny that country is. But yeah. Next question is, Wildspinnet is at which park? Walligator Park, Far Up Summerland, Bonbon Land, or Bayern Park? Which park is it at? And I just realized I probably butchered pretty much everything I just said, but oh well. I guess that just kind of happens. But this was the original Gerstlauer Eurofighter, so yeah. And the correct answer is Bonbon Land. It is at Bonbon Land. A lot of people guess Far Up Summerland. Dang, I guess that was a good part to put in. Alrighty. So the next question is, how many roller coasters currently operate at Gronelund? And this would include Monster. So if it were operating, how many coasters would they have? Although honestly, I mean, yeah, I guess it does matter, but it sort of doesn't. So yeah. And the correct answer is 8 coasters. Gronelund has 8 coasters. And yeah, Mr. Color Roaster is still far in the lead. It's pretty insane. So yeah. The next question is, what year did Pooh's Honey Hunt at Tokyo Disneyland first open? Or yeah, I guess just open. This is a trackless dark ride that a lot of people who have ridden it really like. They say it's amazing. Just because I guess of the ride system, but of course also with the theming and everything in it. I have never seen a POV of it, but I've heard great things about the ride. And the correct answer is 2000. Man, I'm surprised that we actually got like 50% of you right. I thought that one would stump a lot of you guys, but I mean, I guess it did 50%, but I thought maybe more. But yeah, it opened in 2000. The next question is, the B&M Wing Coaster Falcon is located at which park? So which one of these parks is Falcon located at? So Mr. Color Roaster's in first drops in second, and the Coaster Scorpion is third, but 808 Coaster Life is creeping very close to that top 3 spot. He's very close. And yeah, the correct answer is Wuxi Sunak Land. Mr. Color Roaster's still in the lead, but the top 4, actually top 6 are pretty close actually. So yeah. Next question is, true or false? Invertigo at Kings Island is the only operating Vekoma in Vertigo. True or false? And this is for the entire world. But I feel like that's pretty obvious. That's what this question is asking. But yeah. And the correct answer is false. Invertigo is actually one of 3 existing Invertigos. The other 2 are Diabolic at Movieland Park, Italy, and Triops, which is in France, I believe. So, yeah, I may have butchered that as well. The next question is, what year did Dania Beach Hurricane in Florida close? This was, of course, a legendary wooden coaster, at least for Florida coaster enthusiasts, one that was very highly regarded. But unfortunately, it did close several years back. But what year did it actually close? And the correct answer is 2011. Yes, it closed on April 26th, 2011. Wow, that one was pretty difficult. Yeah, okay, now things are starting to tighten up for the spots 2 through 5, actually. But the next question is, what country is Gold Reef City in? Is it in Kuwait? Is it in Egypt? Is it in the United Arab Emirates? Or is it in South Africa? So, yeah, which one is it in? And the correct answer is South Africa, which most of you got right. I guess that was kind of an easy question to end it off on, but yeah. Yep, there we go. So with that being said, in first place, we have Mr. Color Roaster with a score of 109. Really good. In second, we have we have First Drop, who has a score of 60, coming in second. And then in third, we have 808 Coaster Life with a score of 56. Yes, JC finally made it into the top 3. Chris was close behind at 4 with 53 points. Coaster Scorpion was 5th with 48 points. And that's our top 5. Good job to everyone who participated. And yeah, this quiz was pretty difficult, it seems like. So, good scores overall. So, yeah. So that's that. And with that being... Okay, so next I have the YouTube shoutouts, which... Oh, shoot. Okay, I need to update something real quick. I need to... put one extra person in because I didn't put them in here yet. So give me a second to do that, and then I'll be doing the shoutouts. Alright, got it. Alrighty, so our first channel that I'm going to shout out is one that I know I know some of you guys watching have recommended him to be a guest, so and I haven't actually watched too much of his videos. I definitely need to check him out more. But Theme Park Predictions has reached 7,000 subscribers. From what I can tell, he's very consistent in his uploads. A channel, like I said, I need to watch more of just because I haven't, I guess, I could, like, just, I haven't seen too much of his content, but one I'll definitely make sure to check out more of. So make sure to check him out. And I do have a link to all these channels in the description. So that is pretty much that. Actually, wait, no, I guess I'll also put it in the chat here. So let me get the chat up and ready so I can actually do that. And there we go. Alrighty, so that's our first channel. And our second channel is 0 Credits Remaining, another channel I have heard from the chat plenty of. And one I also need to watch, but he recently reached 1,000 subscribers. Like I said, I need to watch his content more, but you guys seem to like his content a lot, and I did see that he did reach a milestone, so worth a shout out for sure. Awesome to finally reach 1,000 subs. So that's 0 Credits Remaining. Next channel I have is Theme Park Media, who is near 9,000 subs. He hasn't uploaded in like 2 or 3 months. I know he's pretty busy just with everything going on, but his channel's very good. So make sure to check him out if you haven't already. Of course, Zach has been a guest on here before, so make sure to check out his channel if you haven't already, because he has a lot of interesting theories on his channel. So yeah, make sure to check him out if you haven't already. Our next channel we have is Hershey Addict, of course, another previous guest who is near 2,000 subscribers. Make sure to check him out if you like Hershey Park. He is probably the best content creator, like Hershey Park content creator. Definitely the best in my opinion. Really good channel. Make sure to check him out if you haven't already. Next channel we have is actually another guest who I had with him in the same episode, and that is Western New York Coasters, otherwise known as WNY Coasters. And I had Lucan, of course, yeah, like I said, on a stream very recently, so that's pretty cool. And he is also close to 2,000 subscribers, so make sure to check him out if you haven't already. Also uploads very consistently and does a lot of great coaster content such as news updates, countdowns, and a lot more. So yeah, pretty good stuff there. Our next channel we have is the Coaster Josh, who is near 3,000 subs. He has a lot of great videos, also kind of more like theory videos. He hasn't been uploading as much recently, but his videos are always very high quality. And of course, he is most well known for his B&M surf coasters, which have been interesting to watch. So if you haven't checked him out, make sure to do that. And then the last channel I have is Coastoons. Like I said, I'll be able to get him on in the future. Just couldn't work out this week. But he is near 5,000 subscribers, yes, he is near 5,000 subscribers. So make sure to check him out if you haven't already. And like I said, I'll be having him in the future. So make sure to check him out if you haven't already. So those are all the channels I wanted to shout out. So good job to everybody who is either close or has reached a milestone. Obviously, that's good to see. And with that being said, I'll move on to the next thing, which is actually going to be, I guess I did do I want to do another Q&A segment, or do I want to go right into the other thing? You know what? Okay, I'm going to change this up. All right, actually, I'm going to do something completely new. So what's happening next is I'm going to be doing Guess the Coaster. And basically how this works is that I'll be thinking of a coaster. Actually, I'll probably have one on RCDB just so I'm not like biased, because people can probably guess based off my bias. But I'll get one that's not like super obscure. So that's pretty much the plan there. And I guess you guys can ask questions in the chat, and I'll try to answer them. Questions about the coaster, they have to be yes or no questions. Seeing that we have 9 people, I think anyone can ask questions. I don't think it'll get too chaotic. So you guys can ask any questions you want. And then of course you can try to answer the questions in the chat pretty much. So yeah, that's going to be basically how that works. So with that being said, let me get my first coaster. I need to get that one up here. Need to actually get something that's guessable. So we did this in the Discord server as well. So if you want to do that, but kind of in a more interactive way, then I'll probably be doing another one of these in the future. So yeah. All right, I got my first coaster. Okay. You guys can start guessing now. Make sure to put your questions in the chat for Guess the Coaster, or giving your guesses to what coaster it actually is. So that's going to pretty much start now. I have my coaster, so ask away in the chat. It is in North America, and it is a steel coaster. It is not a wooden coaster. It is not a BM. So it is North America, and it is steel. So North American steel coaster. It is in the United States, and it is an Intamin. So a steel American Intamin coaster. It is not red. It is not a Vekoma. It is Intamin. It is steel, and it is in the United States. Yeah, I guess I see there's a little bit of the, is it in the Midwest? I would say, I guess it's more actually, yeah, I think it is considered Midwest. So I will say yes for Midwest. So Midwestern US steel Intamin coaster. It is not a mega coaster, and it is not a Blitz. It does not have blue track. It does not have blue track. So yeah, it is at a Cedar Fair park, and it does have a launch, and I have not ridden this coaster. So it has a launch, it's at a Cedar Fair park, it is an Intamin, and it is in the Midwestern US. So that might narrow it down for you guys a little bit. No, not Mamba. Like I said, Intamin, launch, Midwest. Yeah, Intamin, launch, Midwest, and at a Cedar Fair park. So yeah. It is not under 100 feet. It is over 100 feet tall. So that is not correct. And you guys can put in, if you think you know the coaster, you guys can put it in the chat. That's kind of the point. I don't know if I made that super clear. Like Stanford Bridge guessed Mamba. Yeah, you can guess coasters based off the clues given. That's how this works. So yeah. It is not Wicked Twister. It is not Wicked Twister. But like I said, Intamin steel coaster with a launch in the Midwestern US. And the correct answer, yes, I saw it. 808 Coaster Life got it. It is Steel Venom at Valley Fair. That is the correct answer. Minnesota is considered Midwest, right? I hope so. But the correct answer is Steel Venom. So that is round 1. And I'm going to be doing a few more of these rounds. And then toward the end, I'll, I guess, kind of get your feedback and see if you guys like this sort of thing. This is just something I was kind of like, I guess I'll try it. Okay, I got another one. I have another coaster. And this one has to be the specific version of this one. So ask away again. You guys can ask away in the chat. More questions. I have my second coaster now. So, yeah. It is not in North America. So, yeah, this coaster is not in North America. It is not a wooden coaster. It is not in America. It is not a B&M. It is a European coaster. Does not have an IP theme. It is a European coaster. That's the only thing we've gotten out of the questions. It is a European coaster. So, it is not a Batman clone. It's not a B&M. It's the only thing that is a yes so far is the European coaster. It is an Intamin. Yes, a European Intamin coaster. So, yes. It is mainland Europe. So a mainland European Intamin coaster. And it is an Intamin. Yeah. Mainland Europe Intamin coaster. Yeah, there we go. Not in England, not in Germany. Is it, let's see, I think, wait, actually, let me just make sure it is mainland Europe. I'm pretty sure it is, but if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be sad. I just need to make sure. Okay, I need to make sure because I might actually be wrong. Yeah, it is, I think it might actually also be considered Scandinavian. I think it is. Actually, this is complicated. I guess I guess just because it's so weird, I guess I'll just say it. It's an Intamin coaster in it's an Intamin European coaster in I think it's Scandinavian. Yeah, Denmark. It is in Denmark. Sorry about like not knowing European geography if that was confusing. Mr. Color Roaster got it right. It was Puritan at Jers Summerland. So, Mr. Color Roaster got it right. It's Puritan. Good job for Mr. Color Roaster. There. Sorry about that one. That was a little confusing. Just because I didn't. I kind of messed up a little bit on that one in terms of answering the questions. But, yeah. Alright, I have my next coaster. So, you guys can ask away again. Yeah, I have my new coaster, so you guys can ask questions again. This one is in North America this time, so we're back in North America. Yep. It's a North American B&M. Yep. North American B&M coaster. We have those so far. North American B&M coaster. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, North American B&M coaster. Obviously, it's not wooden because it's B&M. It is in the United States, so it's a United States B&M coaster. Yeah, it is East Coast. This is an East Coast B&M coaster. It is not over 200 feet. It's not Fury 325. And I like the guess though. It is not a Batman clone, but it is, like I said, East Coast B&M coaster. Not a floorless, not a sit down, not Fury 325. Like I said, it's not a floorless or a sit down. It is an invert, so East Coast B&M invert. So I don't know if that narrows it down a whole lot, but yeah, like I said, East Coast B&M invert. And let's see if any other questions come through. Not Intimidator. Like I said, not a sit down. It's an invert. It's not Montu, not Talon. It's not Great Bear. Like I said, East Coast B&M invert. It's Alpengeist. Yep, 808 Coaster Life got it right. Alpengeist at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. So that is the correct answer. Another one for Jace. Nice. So we have, I guess, so Jace has gotten 2. of these, and then Mr. Color Roaster has gotten one of these. I guess, I don't know how many more rounds I'm going to do. Okay, I think I'll do it time-based, so I think I'm going to do it until a certain time. So let me find another coaster, and then we'll do another round. I got Steel Venom on RCDB again. Obviously, I'm not doing that one, so yeah. No. Alright, we'll go with this one. Maybe a little obscure, but oh well. It should be fine. I do have my new coaster, so ask away again. Yeah, we'll go with this one. It is not in North America. It is not in Asia. It's not in China. It's not in Asia, so I guess I'll just ignore all the Asia questions because it's not in Asia and it's not in North America. It is in Europe. It is in Europe. So yeah, this one is in Europe. Not a launch coaster. So it's a European coaster. I think that's all we got so far. Not in Germany, not in mainland. It is not in mainland Europe this time. Like I know for sure. So, still we're at European coaster. I think basically. It's not a Scandinavian one either. It's not Carnan. It's a European coaster, but it's not in mainland Europe. It is in the United Kingdom. It is not a B&M. So a United Kingdom coaster, I think, is literally all we got so far. United Kingdom coaster. It is not the ultimate. Good guess, but not quite. United Kingdom coaster. Is it at a Merlin park? I don't believe so. Let me just... Yeah, it's not at a Merlin park. I just had to check. It is not at a Merlin park. So UK coaster. It is not Icon. It is not Rita. It is not Megaphobia. It is not Swarm. It's not at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Man, are we still at UK coaster, basically? I think so. So that's like the only place we've gotten. It's not Speed No Limits. Oh my god, Mr. Color Roaster got it. It's Odyssey. Odyssey at Fantasy Island. The Vekoma SLC, like the supersized Vekoma SLC. That's the one it is. So Mr. Color Roaster got it right. Wow. With like almost no clues, but I guess he kind of just went down the list of major UK coasters. So pretty good though, I gotta say that. That was pretty good there. So I'll get another one real quick. Let's see which one I can get. Oh, alright, we'll go with this one. Alrighty, ask away. I have another coaster. So yeah. Ask away more questions. Like I said, I just got another coaster, although I guess it's probably because of the delay that won't happen. It's not in Asia. It's not in Australia. It is in Europe again. So yes, it is a European coaster. Yes, European coaster. That's all we have so far. Let's see what other questions come in. It is a B&M. It is a European B&M coaster. It is in Germany, a German B&M coaster. Yeah, there we go. German B&M coaster, so that's what we have so far. Let's see what else. It is not Troy, not quite. Not Silver Star. Coaster Scorpion got it right. It is Black Mamba at Phantasialand. So, yeah, Lindsay was not far behind, although he said Mamba, but I know he meant Black Mamba. But yeah, Coaster Scorpion got it right first. Let me just make sure that I have that right. Yes. Okay, so yeah, Black Mamba. Coaster Scorpion got it right. So good job there. So I'll go for another one. Wow, I got it right there, then and there. I have another coaster, so you guys can ask away again. So yeah. Alrighty, yeah, like I said, have another coaster, so make sure to ask away again. It is in North America this time, so it is a North American coaster. We're back in North America again. So, yes, a North American coaster. That's about all we have so far. Not Nephis guess. I like the guess. I like that guess. just because it's out of nowhere. It is a North American coaster. It is not a B&M. It is not an Intamin. So it is in the U.S. It is a U.S. coaster, but it is not a B&M or an Intamin. So all we've got so far is a U.S. coaster. Not on the West Coast. It is not wooden. So all we have still is a U.S. coaster. Yeah, we still have that. It is not an RMC. This one, I mean, it shouldn't be, it wouldn't be that difficult of a coaster to guess, but potentially by clues it could get difficult. It is a steel coaster, so we have a US steel coaster. It is not GCI, it is not SNS, and it is not Mock Rides. So, still looking for the manufacturer. It is not launched. It is not a Schwarzkopf. It is not a Gerstlauer. So, a US steel coaster. That's all we have so far. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here for questions. Nothing's come through for a little bit. That's weird. I guess that's... oh god, okay, that's why. Because they just all came in all at once. Okay. Is it an Arrow? Yes, it is an Arrow. So an Arrow US steel, I guess all Arrows are steel. So an Arrow US coaster, so I don't need to specify that. It's not Time Warp. Not Runaway Mountain. Arrow US coaster. It is a sit down. Not Viper, like the guess, but it is not Viper. So Arrow sit down coaster. It does have inversions, so an Arrow sit down with inversions in the US. It is not Corkscrew at Cedar Point, like the guess, but that's not what it is. Not Steamin' Demon. Like I said, Arrow coaster in the US. It does have at least 3 inversions. Yes, it does. So this is an Arrow coaster that at least has 3 inversions in the US. That is a sit down. Although, I think all Arrow coasters with 3 inversions or more are sit downs. So it is not Corkscrew. It's not a Corkscrew anywhere. So and it is not Demon. It's neither Demon. It is not at a Cedar Fair Park. It's not Demon. It's not either of the ones. It is not Vortex. But like I said, I'll say it again. Arrow coaster in the US with at least 3 inversions. That's where we're at right now. And it's sit down. Not at a Six Flags. Wow, this one's singing a little bit. But I guess I can kind of see why. And okay, Mr. Cola Roaster got it. It's Tennessee Tornado at Dollywood. That is the correct answer, which has exactly 3 inversions. So yes, yep, Tennessee Tornado. Mr. Cola Roaster got it right again. Nice. So I'll be looking for another one. I think I'll do this for like another 12 minutes. Yeah, that's probably, yeah, we're gonna go with that. I guess as I'm looking for a coaster, let me know right now if you guys like this while I'm still searching for a coaster. So because it's actually taken me a little while this time around. Ooh, already I got one. We need some more different locations, I guess I'll say. But I do have my next coaster, so ask away again. Alrighty. Yeah, so like I said, have my next coaster, so you guys can ask away. Is it in North America? Yes, this one is in North America. Yes. North American coaster, that's where what we have so far. This is a B&M North American coaster, yes. So it is built by B&M, so it is a B&M North American coaster. So, yeah. Yeah, North American B&M. Yeah, it's steel because it has to be. It's B&M. Not in Mexico. There are no B&Ms in Mexico. It is not launched. It is not floorless. It is red. It is actually red. Yes, this coaster is red. It is a North American B&M that is red. Not a hyper, not an invert, not in Canada, so that basically makes it the US, so because you've eliminated the other ones, so it has to be US. Let's see, it is not Vortex, it's not Raging Bull, like US B&M coaster. I think that's all we have so far. It's not Intimidator. Oh, and it's red, so red B&M coaster in the US. That's what we have so far. It is not Vortex or Carowinds. It's not a Vortex in general. It does have inversions. It's not Superman Krypton coaster. It is not on the West Coast. So inversions, red, B&M, and in the US. It is not Diamondback. Well, this one might stump some people. It is at a Six Flags park, so that is, it is a B&M that is red that has inversions at a Six Flags park. So it is at Six Flags. I'll say that again. B&M, inversions, red, and at a Six Flags park. So, yeah. It is not X-Flight. No. Good guess, though. It is not Superman themed. It is, yeah, it's not a Superman. It's not any of them, okay? It's none of them. It is not X-Flight. Oh boy, this one's gonna be pretty tough, I think, actually. And yes, the correct answer, Mr. Coloroser got it right. It is Georgia Scorcher, which it did recently get repainted to red, so it is a red coaster. So whoever asked that, you probably actually may have made it more difficult, but still a good question. But yeah, Georgia Scorcher, it is red now, so it is a red coaster. So that's why I like whoever asked the red thing, because that probably made it even more confusing. So I like that. Let me find another coaster. Oh man, let's see what we got. Preferably somewhere with a somewhat new location. We'll go with it. All right, we'll go with this one. All right. Okay, so I have my next coaster, and you guys can ask away your questions again. So, yeah. It is not in China. It is not in Asia, so it is in Europe. This one is in Europe. So, couldn't get that location, like I said. European coaster. I think that's what we got so far. Yeah, I don't believe it has rock work. And it is not a wooden coaster, so it's a European coaster. I think that's all we have so far. It's not B&M, it's not Intamin. It does have inversions, so it is a European coaster with inversions. It is steel. There's like maybe one coaster that eliminates. Well, actually, no. Yeah, I would. It is not in mainland Europe. It is not a Vekoma, but it is a steel coaster in Europe, but not mainland Europe. Not Dynamite, not Germany. Yeah, steel, European, yeah, okay, it is in the UK, so steel UK coaster with inversions. Yeah, steel UK coaster with inversions. Don't know that narrows it down a whole lot. It's not Hero. It's not Swarm. And I should have, it's not an Intamin or B&M. If I didn't answer that, it's none of those. It is at a Merlin park. This coaster is at a Merlin park. It is not Swarm, it is not Galactica, it is not Colossus, it is not Icon. It is not Nemesis Inferno, like I said, UK coaster with inversions. UK steel coaster with inversions. It is not Smiler. And oh my god, Mr. Cola Roaster got it again. Although he is in the UK, so it makes sense. It is Saw the Ride. I'm surprised no one even mentioned Gerstlauer like as a manufacturer. But yes, it is Saw the Ride. So definitely I need to change the location if possible. So yeah, you know what? I think I am just gonna intentionally do that. So that it might take me a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get something different, just because it will probably give other people more of a chance here. But yeah, alrighty. So give me a little bit. Man, I'm not getting anything so far. You know what? No, screw it. I'm going with this one. This one's actually pretty cool. All right, I'm going with this. You guys can ask your questions. Now I'm gonna go with this one. This one's a pretty cool one, so I had to go with it, even if it wasn't exactly where I would have wanted. It is not in Asia. I didn't like the location thing died. It is an Intamin coaster though. It is an Intamin. It is a steel coaster, so Intamin steel coaster. It is not in the UK. Like I think yeah, European Intamin steel coaster. Does it have theming in the station? It might, but I'm not aware of it. If it does, I wouldn't exactly say so. It's not in the UK. Like I said, Intamin coaster. That's steel. I think that's all we've gotten so far in Europe. Not Benelux, no. It's not G-Force. It's not Tehran. It is in Germany. It is an Intamin steel coaster in Germany. I don't know if that helps a whole lot. This one is not launched. No, this one does not have a launch. So Intamin steel coaster in Europe, but it doesn't have a launch. It is not Hyperion. That's in Poland, so it wouldn't be. So let's see what other questions come up. Like I said, Germany, Intamin steel coaster. It's not Reich. I'm not sure how you say that. Yeah, that's Vekoma as well, but it's right by Tehran, so I mean, that kind of makes sense to get confused by that. Not Desert Race. It's not launched, like I said. Boy, this one might be difficult. Is it a thrill coaster? Yes, it is. It is a thrilling coaster. There's one clue I maybe should have given, but if I did, I think it would give it away. So I probably am gonna just wait still on this. It is not a water coaster. Like I said, so Germany's steel coaster. That's an Intamin. German Intamin steel coaster. That's where we're at right now still. Yeah, this one's pretty tough. Yeah, I could definitely see that. But yeah, it is not a mega coaster. It is not at Fantasia Land, so neither of those. Yeah, this one. Oh boy. This one. I guess I'll do one more after this, but yeah, this one's might take a little bit. It is not at Europa Park. Like I said, Intamin coaster in Germany. Like I said, there's one thing I want to say, but if I said it, I really feel like I'd give it away, so I'm not going to say it. Is it at Heidi Park? No. It's not. Ooh, man, I'm trying, yeah, this one's probably the most difficult one that's come up yet. Does the park it's at have more than 5 coasters? And it is also not at Trips Drill. Yes, this park does have more than 5 coasters. So, yes. It is at a park with more than 5 coasters. Which, it is not the Nürburgring coaster. That is an SNS. But but that is an interesting guess. But no, it's not that one. Man, yeah, this one could. I don't know what to do if I actually get to the point where I actually stump you guys. I guess keep asking questions. There might be some that would help out a little bit. There might be some. If not, like if I don't get anything for a while, then I might just kind of just say it because I don't know if anyone's gonna get this one. Well, as I say that, Mr. Color Roaster got it. It's Cop Car Chase. And I guess I should have mentioned before, I'm also allowing defunct coasters. I would assume everyone would know that, but maybe not if that wasn't for sure. Yeah, defunct coasters. Cop Car Chase is this one. Like I said, pretty cool ride, so I kind of had to go with it when I saw it. And with that being said, I'll do one more. You've never heard of it, really? Yeah, look into it. It's actually pretty cool. I'll do one more coaster. It'll be an Asian coaster, so let me get one that's actually notable. Like that's actually guessable, I should say. And then we'll go with that one. So I guess you already know the location, but I'm gonna do that just because we haven't gotten that. Yeah. Man, is this one? No, that one's too obscure. No way. I'm still. How is this so hard? I don't get it. Like, it should not be that difficult. And besides, I'm not even getting Asian coasters right now. I'm actually not. So sorry if this takes a little while. Man, come on. Maybe I should just go with one I'm thinking of in my head, but I don't think that'd be as fun. So I'm gonna still try to find something. This is ridiculous. Like, I actually can't get one. Like, how? Come on. I guess I'll go with this one. Yeah, sure, we'll go with it. All right. Okay, at least we got something. So, time to answer the questions. It is not in China. It is Japan. So, we have a Japanese coaster. This coaster is in Japan. So, yes. I'll probably do another one after this just because this one I'm not exactly happy with. It is a steel coaster in Japan. It is not at Fuji-Q Highland, so it is not Fujiyama. It is at Nagashima Spotland. So, steel coaster in Japan. I guess, yeah, steel coaster at Nagashima Spotland is probably easier. Not SNS. I don't know if it's appeared on any of that, so, and Mr. Coal Roaster got it again. It's Acrobat, at Nagashima Spotland. And 808 Coaster Life got it, like, both of them got it really close to each other, so, at least as I see it. So, I guess in that case, both of you got it right. Acrobat at, Nagashima Spotland. So, yeah, that is the correct answer. I'll do one more just because that one was kind of... That one's... I mean, it's a clone of Manta. I'll do one more. And preferably... one in Asia, so come on. Okay, yes, there we go. All right, yep, I'm content with this one. All right, okay, all right, I got it. Ask me away. This one's a good one. Alrighty, so I have my next coaster, and like I said, ask me questions again. It is not in China. Sorry. It is not a wooden coaster. It is a steel coaster. Not inside. So basically, Asian steel coaster is what we got. It is defunct. So Asian steel coaster that is defunct. It is a Japanese steel coaster that is defunct. It's not Insane Speed. Not Flight of the Himalayan Eagle music roller coaster. It's not Flying Dinosaur. Like I said, Japanese coaster that is defunct. Japanese steel coaster that's defunct, I should say. Not Draken. Not Titan Max, no. But yeah, like I said, Japanese steel coaster that is defunct. It is not Moonsault Scramble. It's not Moonsault Scramble, no, but good guess. Let's see what else comes in. Alrighty, let's see. No, it's not Moonsault Scramble. I saw another one come in. Not Twist Coaster Robin. That one would have been really cool, but it was not Twist Coaster Robin. That one actually would have been really funny. It's not Twist Coaster Robin, though, so not that one. Like I said, Japanese steel coaster that is defunct. So, no, it's not. It's not that coaster. It's not that one. The one Mr. Cola Roaster said. Not that one. Man, yeah, this one, maybe it might be a little bit tough, but I mean, I thought it was a pretty good one, so we'll go with it. Yeah. Like I said, Japanese steel coaster that is defunct. Man, I think I might have you guys stumped on this one. Hayabusa? No, not quite. That one's also really cool, but it's not that one. There's one question I'm actually kind of surprised it hasn't come up. But if it's the one I'm thinking of, the answer would still be no, but still. It is not an Intamin. So it is not an Intamin coaster. Like I said, Japanese defunct coaster that is steel. I think that's still where we're at on it. So let's see what else comes in terms of questions. Is it a Togo? It's actually not a Togo, surprisingly. Just because you would think they have a lot of those. So yeah. No, it's not it's not Orochi. No, it's not that one. Man, this one, all right. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be pretty tough. Like I said, there's one question I'm surprised it hasn't come up. I'll share it afterwards if no one like asks it. But yeah. There's 4 questions that would probably help out. Like I said, this will be the last one, like the absolute last one. So yeah. My God, Mr. Cola Roaster, how? Yes, it is Venus GP. Oh my God, how? Yes, that is the correct answer. Oh my God, I don't even know. I mean, I guess you probably go down the list. The question I was surprised no one asked, especially, like, basically anyone from the Discord, I was surprised no one asked if it was in the Defunct Coaster tournament. That would have been pretty, that one actually would have been, that would have been a pretty good question. But, yes, Venus GP. And it is defunct because it still hasn't opened. But yeah, that was the coaster. So, yeah. Pretty crazy. So that is pretty much the end of, basically, at least for today, Guess the Coaster. Actually, I think we can, actually, I think for the draft, like, in between picks, like I said, I mentioned the draft live stream, I could probably do Guess the Coaster, in between the picks. That'd be pretty fun. That'd be something I could do. But yeah, let me know if you guys liked it, if you think there's anything that could be improved in the chat here. Something new I just wanted to try just because it was, something pretty interesting. So, yeah. But thank you guys for participating in that. But, yeah. Alright, so with that being said, I guess the next thing I'll move on to is our second Q&A segment before I go into, I guess pretty much what will actually be my last thing before pretty much ending the stream, but I expect it might take a little bit. So I'll do one more Q&A sort of thing, so you guys can ask away any more questions you have. You like the one we did last time? Oh yeah, through the Discord. Well, absolutely. I think that's probably the better way to do it. But obviously, um, that's just not exactly achievable through YouTube, and I know not everyone can have a Discord or wants to. So, uh, it's just nice to kind of have different ways to do it. Maybe I could try, I guess, with a zoomed in picture of coasters in the future. Maybe I've seen that being done before. Definitely something I could consider. But yeah. Do I have any plans to travel out of the country? As of right now, no. I'm sure I'll go to Mexico sometime within the next 2 to 3 years. That'll probably just happen. Um, Maybe not, but that seems pretty likely. That just with how things are. But outside of that, no, I don't have any plans right now. I'd love to, but no plans right now. Which coaster? Actually, no, I can pull these up now. Which coaster do I think is overrated or underrated, and why? Overrated coaster. I don't want to go with something polarizing because that kind of, that's kind of probably not one I would want to go with. What? There's one I know of that I guess I'm trying to think of the ones I have on off the top of my head. Wow, I guess in a way sort of Gold Striker. Like I still really like the ride, but I don't know if it's like the best GCI or one of the absolute best. That's the one I can think of right now. And then underrated, definitely I guess Giant Dipper at Santa Cruz. I think that's just one that doesn't get much attention unless you've actually ridden it. So, but even people who've ridden it don't necessarily care that much for it. So I'm gonna go with that. But yeah, no, I still think Gold Striker is a great ride. I just my last rides on it were not very good. So we're not, well, they were good. They just weren't as good as they had been in the past. Let's see. Did I hear Mario's 35th anniversary is coming to an end on Wednesday? Does that like mean the package with like the, what did I call it? Oh, the game package. Yeah, I have that. I already have the thing, so I with Mario Galaxy and Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine, so I'm good with that. Ooh, predicted ranking of these coasters. Ooh, I like this. Jungle Dragon, Soaring with Dragon, Dolling Dragon, and Dueling Dragons. Ooh, good question. I think at the bottom, I'm going to have to put, ooh, that's tough. And I guess for the bottom, I'll put in, Soaring with Dragon. It looks really cool. It's just compared to the other Intamin Blitz coasters we're seeing now, it could have done a little more with its layout, it seems like, but it still looks amazing. Next, I would probably have to go with the inverted side of Dueling Dragons. If I had to pick one or the other, I'd probably rather ride the inverted side just because it's so unique, but I would think the sit-down side would be better, so I'm going to go sit-down side above the invert side. And then I would go with Dolling Dragon. Honestly, those four are really close for me, because Dolling Dragon does have the PTCs. But it still looks great. And then Jungle Dragon's like way ahead of the other ones in my opinion. Jungle Dragon is one of my most anticipated coasters in all of China. It's like it's top 3, I think. Yeah, it's top 3. So yeah, I like that question though. Let's see what else. Let's see. Do I think Boulder Dash looks overrated or underrated? That's very tough to say because it's one that you definitely, it seems like you need to ride. I mean, that's pretty much most coasters, if not all of them, but especially that one. It's hard to say. I don't even think I could have, it's really hard to say, just because that coaster is actually kind of polarizing. So, I can't even say right now. Um, um, let's see. Let's see what else there is. Okay, this is interesting. If after you graduate high school, you were for some reason offered a rent-free apartment inside Knott's Berry Farm, would you take it and live there? Um, I, in this situation, probably not. That would be amazing, but, um, and I think most people would take that, but I don't think, I guess, it's hard. It depends on a lot of things, but I'd definitely be interested. Yeah. Let's see. Thoughts on Hurricane roller coaster going to China? I'm gonna go over that in a little bit, but it looks really good. I think at this point it's gotten a little overhyped. It used to be like completely unknown, then it got overhyped, and I guess now it's just kind of like people have kind of forgot about it a little bit. Looks really good, but I need to see it test. That'll definitely help. And seeing the POV would also be great. So just because it's such a weird ride for mock rides. Yeah. Um, I think Jungle Dragon looks way better than the other coasters on there, to be completely honest. The ones you mentioned. But the other ones are very close. I would have to agree with that. Let's see. Any more coasters in Europe that you think deserve more attention or look underrated? Thinking off the top of my head, um, man, what looks underrated over there? Shock for sure. Shock at Magic Land. That one for sure. Even though I think it's gotten a little more attention recently, but still not nearly enough. Probably the ones I'm thinking of doing for my under the radar coaster series. El Toro, at Frieze Park Plone. That one's another one. Those two are the ones I can think of off the top of my head, honestly. Yeah. Thoughts on Big Dipper at Luna Park in Sydney? Honestly, it looks fun. It doesn't look like anything that amazing. But for the plot of land they had to deal with, it's pretty good. It's just, it's just, I don't know it looks really fun. I'll say that. I wouldn't expect anything too insane otherwise, but, yeah. Oh yeah, Speed Monster as well would also be another one. Or Speed Monster or Thunder Coaster. I think Speed Monster looks better. Thunder Coaster hasn't really stood out to me that much when I've looked at it, but maybe I need to look at it again. Speed Monster looks amazing. But Thunder Coaster isn't talked about a lot, so I could also see that being one of the other ones. Yeah. Alrighty, so if there's, I guess I'll go until, if there's, I'll take questions until 1:30, and then I'll move on to my, like I said, I'll do like kind of an updated 25 most anticipated coasters of 2021. Some of the lower spots, they're not really ranked, I just have them, but just to kind of talk about some coasters that maybe aren't being talked about as much for the 2021 season that are actually opening. So I'll be going into that in a little bit, and then that'll pretty much get to the last Q&A and wrap up the stream. So yeah. Honestly, I've thought about doing like an under the radar park series, but I think that would take so insanely long to do that I'm definitely gonna focus on the coasters first. Just because I want to make sure I can get that going consistently, and then maybe I'll consider doing something like that. Yeah. I don't believe I have ever watched the channel Controversial Coasters. I'll make sure to check it out, but, interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check him out. I haven't seen his channel before, though, but nice to see a recommendation. Number one bucket list, Happy Valley Park. I have such a hard time memorizing which ones have which rides. I think Shanghai is probably the one. Yeah, I think I'd go with Shanghai. Shanghai, yeah. I think that's the one I would pick. Um, yeah, I think that's the one I'd pick. So, um, let's see what else we have. Okay, I think that's about it. So I'm gonna move on to the next thing, which will be the my updated most anticipated coasters. I won't go like I'll try not to take super long on this because obviously 25 coasters that would take pretty long. But maybe you'll see some coasters here that you haven't heard of before. If you haven't even seen my video, that's also fine. Like if you haven't seen my top 15 video, that's totally cool. It won't matter that much, honestly. So you can just look at this because some of these I just kind of want to mention just because. And also I just think looking at these rides, it's kind of interesting. So yeah, we're going to move into my top 25 most anticipated coasters of 2021. Some of the ones in the lower part are definitely not really in a legitimate order. I just kind of threw them in there. They could really go anywhere for some of these, but this is kind of what I went with. And I made this, kind of redid this kind of recently as well. So my like thoughts may change, but hey, we'll be doing this because I figured why not. But my 25th most anticipated coaster of 2021 is the B&M Wing Coaster going to Fantasy Valley in China. We don't know much about it. It's going to have like, I think like 3 to 4 inversions, but it's a B&M Wing Coaster. Looks pretty fun, so decided to put it on here. Also, let me know in the chat what you think of these rides. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think, just because I just kind of want to see that. But like I said, looks pretty fun from what we can see, which is not much, but should be a fun ride. In 24th, I have Monster at Grönalund in Sweden. Like I said, a lot of these lower ones are pretty interchangeable, honestly. The first drop looks really good, but it just doesn't seem like the kind of invert I would like because it's a lot more. I haven't really ridden a super modern B&M invert. Like I haven't ridden Banshee, obviously. But I don't know, this one, it looks really fun. I'm sure the interactions will make it so much better than I'm expecting. Like, just because it's so, it had to be crammed into such, like, a tiny space. But honestly, it's maybe just not the ride I maybe would hope for. But it looks pretty fun. Definitely one I would like to check out when I could. All of these rides share that, honestly. Like, all these rides are probably going to be great. 23rd, I have Emperor at SeaWorld San Diego. And this ride has been growing on me the more and more I've been seeing it test. Obviously, I'm not a fan of dive coasters, but this one actually looks good. It actually has decent pacing, and the inversions look pretty solid. And for SeaWorld San Diego, I think this is a perfect fit. Just because of all the restrictions and stuff. This is like the kind of park I would want to see a dive coaster at. It actually makes sense here. From a coaster enthusiast standpoint, I know that it makes sense to do it just because they're going to bring the crowds in and they're going to be a huge crowd pleaser. And that's why you see parks like Cedar Point doing this and adding in dive coasters. Same thing with like Canada's Wonderland. But I think here it actually makes a lot of sense, and I am excited to ride it. So looks like a really fun ride. In 22nd, I have Dragonfire at Doha Oasis Quest in Qatar. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's a country in the Middle East, I believe. This is a premier launch coaster, kind of similar to Deep Space from what I've heard. If you've heard of that, it's a coaster in India. It will have 2 inversions, a nearly 200-foot tall spike. So it seems like it should be pretty nuts. Looks pretty cool, actually. Don't know what to expect because I haven't ridden a coaster like this, but it seems pretty cool. Yeah. After I get to 20, I'll kind of look back at the chat and see your guys' like kind of thoughts. I'll probably go through that for every 5. But yeah, that's Dragonfire. Looks like a cool ride. 21 is what used to be my number 15. And it is that Intamin Launch Coaster at Dubai Hills Mall in the United Arab Emirates. You may have never heard of this coaster before. I'm sure there were plenty of people that hadn't heard of this before I brought it up in my video. Basically, it's an Intamin coaster with a vertical launch, kind of like Wicked, but inside of this building, but it takes up the entire building. It's really weird. Supposedly, it's going to be polar coaster-like, is what I've heard. But Intamin is doing the track. That's not officially confirmed, but a picture of the track, it very much looked like the Intamin track. But it looks pretty fun. Well, I guess I can't even say if it looks really pretty fun because we don't even know what the layout looks like, but it's interesting. It should be a unique experience, so it seems like a cool ride. I'm waiting to see more of it, but it seems pretty cool. And then at 20th, we have Big Dipper at Luna Park in Australia. Like I said, it looks fun. Nothing too outstanding, like as far as a single rail coaster, but it looks fun, so nothing wrong with that. And for the plot of land they had to work with, it's pretty dang good because that area was like that was probably a pretty difficult job to make anything out of, so pretty cool. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go back to the chat here. Just seeing what we got. Let's see. B&M Wings got ruined for you after Thunderbird. Yeah, probably just because it had a launch. Just looking through the chat here. Monster, low tier B&M invert. It looks fun. Like, it's hard to say. Maybe it'll be a really good ride. Just because, but we'll see. Emperor is underhyped. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, and it does look really nice. I'm actually excited to ride it. Dragonfire looks cool. Deep Space looks underrated, and that's pretty much what Dragonfire is. Yeah, maybe from Intamin, the single rail, maybe you were expecting a little more, but I think for what it is, it's fine, and it's very different from the RMC Raptor, which I think is a good thing, so it's nice to see some originality, at least, when it comes to a single rail layout. So then I guess I'll move on to my other coasters. 19 is Barracuda at Hainan Ocean Paradise. I had this at my top 15. Like I said, these lower ones, they could kind of be switched around. But I think I liked Fahrenheit a lot, and so I kind of overhyped it for myself. Looking at it again, there is a No Limits POV out there of it that someone created, I believe. But just kind of looking over it more. Some other rides I think are just a little more interesting, but I do like seeing that Intamin's actually going back to making a vertical lift coaster. I think that's really cool. At 18, I have Steel Typin at Dreamworld in Australia. This could be considered a clone. I should have mentioned earlier, I'm not including clones or relocations, just because it's very similar to Blue Fire, but it does have the spinning back car. And for what it's worth, it does have the swing launch. So, I mean, I guess the swing launch is really more important in terms of is it a clone or not. But it looks really fun. It looks like a great ride for Australia. And that spinning seat should be amazing to experience. 17th, I have Light of Revenge at Happy Valley Nanjing in China. This is the coaster that everyone thought was a Cheetah Hunt clone, but it's actually not. It's very different from Cheetah Hunt. I think the only similarities are the first, like, kind of weird turnaround element, and then it has like some S curves at the bottom that are Cheetah Hunt like, but everything else is pretty unique for it. Looks like it has some good airtime, and it looks like it should be more intense than Cheetah Hunt, so that's pretty cool. And then 16, I have this Gravity Group wooden coaster at Jinan Sunak Land in China. It has a pretty steep drop if you can look over here. I think I have my mouse over there. It looks pretty cool. And overall, the layout just looks really interesting. Well, maybe not really interesting, but it looks pretty nice. It looks like a pretty nice Gravity Group coaster. Gravity Group coasters are, I haven't ridden one, but they look really nice. I'm pretty excited to finally get on one whenever I do. And also, we got a little theming element, I guess. That's kind of cool. It has like this weird, like, kind of fish tunnel thing. But the ride looks pretty cool. Don't know what's up with the green stuff under the ride, but we'll see if that actually stays or not. But it's kind of interesting. I'll look back through the comments again. Yeah, the ride, it does look better than Fahrenheit, but I just think some of these other rides, I would rather ride, and I think might actually be better. So yeah, spinning back car, yeah. Um, the swing launch actually makes it worse. It's kind of weird because yeah, maybe it might actually for just because it probably wouldn't be as forceful. Well, yeah, it wouldn't be. But I guess we'll kind of have to see how it is when it opens for steel type in. And the spinning car is at least really cool. Um, but yeah. And then I just looking at the other things. Yeah, I don't know I don't know exactly what the deal is with the like kind of like the green stuff under the coasters in China. I don't know what the purpose of it is. I'm sure that it serves a purpose, but I don't know what it is. But yeah. Just looking through some of the chat here. I guess I'll move on to like the next coasters. I think I'll just go right through my top 15 because why not? 15, I have Leviathan at SeaWorld Australia, in Australia, obviously. Um, Obviously, it has the backwards back row car, which is really awesome. I'm not exactly sure if the layout, I've heard different things about the layout. I don't know if the concept art layout is what it actually is. I've heard different things on that, if that's actually what it is. So I'm not even entirely sure what the layout is, but a good sized gravity group with a back row car is pretty promising. So for that reason alone, I felt like I should have, that's kind of like why I would be excited to ride it. At 14, I have Bombay Express at Bollywood Parks, Dubai in United Arab Emirates. This supposedly will have some sort of airtime record. Looking at the construction, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to happen, but a very large GCI coaster, which I guess this is what it's going to be, is definitely intriguing. Also, that the thing's probably going to be hauling because it's super hot over there, so it's probably going to be an amazing ride, I'm sure. But there's just a lot of kind of unknowns with it, so it's just kind of an interesting ride to kind of look at and kind of keep track of. Although there hasn't been too much as of late, I don't believe. 13th is Mission Ferrari at Ferrari World in the United Arab Emirates. This coaster, like, it's like, I mean, you can't really predict how good it's going to be because it's going to be so different. But it's very intriguing. It just because it's gonna have like some technology we've never seen before on any roller coaster, but it's also gonna have some level of some like thrilling elements with the two inversions. So it'll be very interesting to see how this ride is. Hopefully I get out to riding it at some point, or hopefully more of these actually get built. But this ride seems super unique, super cool. So it's just one I'm super interested in. My 12th coaster I have here is the SNS Air Launch Coaster at Window of the World in China. This coaster is designed by Joe Draves. I think this coaster is going to be amazing. It's an air launch, like I said. And it's going to be the most compact air launch they've ever built. And the elements look pretty crazy, honestly. Like it seems like it's going to be taken at such a fast pace. So this coaster looks really nice. And of course, since it's in China, I don't know when we're going to be able to get a POV of it or off ride, but I'm excited to see it whenever it comes out. Looks like a really cool ride. My 11th here is Hurricane Roller Coaster, which is, of course, the one we talked about earlier. It looks really fun. The 0G roll after the top hat looks literally insane. At least it could be. It should be, I would think. But it's a weird ride because Mach Rides hasn't made anything like this before. The picture here is probably not the best picture for it, but it's the kind of concept picture they had. If you haven't heard of this coaster, I recommend you look up a different picture of it in the future. If you haven't seen it, it looks actually pretty interesting. But should be a really cool ride and definitely something very interesting from Mach Rides, for sure. Super weird. In 10th, I have Icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando. Just from the testing, this thing doesn't look like a family coaster. I guess it won't have that much positive G's, but it's going to have some insane airtime, so Just judging from the testing, it tested way better than it ran way better than I would have expected. This thing looks awesome, and definitely for SeaWorld Orlando, a great addition for the park. I think so. It can be a family coaster, as in I guess it isn't like insanely intense, but the airtime might scare some kids away. So it's kind of an interesting coaster, but still one I'm very excited to ride whenever I get the opportunity to. It looks really good. And then for my 9th coaster and 8th coaster, I guess, I have the Vekoma Shockwave at Dragon Valley in China, which I guess is very similar to Abysses at Energylandia, but it doesn't have the first like launch sequence, if I'm correct, and it has an extra inversion, and because of that, Abysses is number 8. I don't know. I know some people are really hyped for this coaster, and I think it looks awesome. It's just some of these other coasters are a little more interesting to me. Although I will say the first like kind of launch segment, it actually from the testing, like I said, of course, still a ways from actually opening, but it looks pretty nice. Yeah, Abysses looks great. There's just some coasters ahead of it that I think look better, but great mix of inversions and airtime. I'm interested to see how the Batwing is. The Batwing is very interesting to me, especially because I've never even done one, I think. So that's very intriguing to me. But there's a lot of great looking airtime moments as well. The ride's going to be quite crazy for sure. My 7th coaster I have here is the Vekoma Top Gun at the Phanta Wild Parks in China. There's supposed to be 2 of these opening. These rides look insane. The pacing of these rides is going to be crazy. There's been some test runs and they've looked pretty good. So these rides look absolutely insane. It's like as if Vekoma did an Intamin Blitz. The top hat sort of element looks crazy. The inversions look so whippy. The airtime looks like it's going to be just insane. This ride looks so good. It's too bad like this isn't being covered more, but it kind of makes sense why. And then 6th, I guess I'll do my 6th and then I'll go back to the comments. 6th, I have Jurassic World Velocicoaster. Seems like a pretty cool ride. Obviously has great theming. Probably will be the best theme coaster that kind of blends theming and a roller coaster experience. Although maybe some people will say Tehran. Of course, I haven't ridden either of those, so I wouldn't know. But this ride, the layout looks great. The airtime looks great. The coaster, and it looks like it's going to be a very long ride. It looks like a really good ride. Top hat looks good. The off-axis airtime hill is probably one of my most anticipated moments on the ride. The last inversion should be cool, as well as the like 0G stall. It looks like a very fun ride for sure. I just don't necessarily know if it'll be as good as at least on the coaster side of it, as some people say. I think the theming is going to absolutely deliver, but we'll have to wait and see on that for sure. So I'm going to go back through the comments just to look through stuff. Yeah, Leviathan, it looks really good. Yeah, I think the concept art is wrong. That's probably correct, Marty. Bombay Express, most underrated 2021 coaster. It's kind of mysterious, so it's kind of hard to say what we're gonna get exactly. Mission Ferrari, it's just gonna be so unique, so I'm very excited to do it eventually, hopefully. Yes, the SNS Air Launch, it looks really good. Hurricane Roller Coaster looks good. Yeah, I guess I used to have Icebreaker low. Apparently now I have it high, I guess, so that's interesting. But yeah, these coasters, all of these rides, like I said, look great. This is just kind of my thoughts on them right now. So yeah. Oh, Primordial is an opening in 2021. And I should also say Turbo Turtle Power and the 2 Disney World coasters are not supposed to open in 2021, so I didn't include those for that reason. Yeah, that ride is probably going to be very unique, but I'm going to move on to my next coaster, which is Jersey Devil Coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. I mean, when you think this ride's going to be so crazy, I don't know if the pacing is going to be as crazy as the Raptors. I'm definitely curious to see how it tests. But the ride's probably still gonna have some amazing pacing, and the airtime looks literally insane. It's gonna be such a good ride, and the finale looks so good, which is actually my biggest critique of the RMC Raptor prototype. I mean, this ride is gonna be amazing. Six Flags Great Adventure, having this and El Toro, that's just insane. Really good. It looks so good. I might honestly be underhyping it, honestly. But I'm waiting to see the testing. And then my number 4, which this is surprising, Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland. I know the testing, it went way faster than it normally would, but it definitely opened my eyes to seeing how crazy this ride could be, even though it won't actually run that fast as it was. But this ride, I mean, it is very unique. And the fact that it has an amazing layout that you take while spinning is just insane. It's going to be such a unique ride, and I can understand why some people have it as their most anticipated coaster. Honestly, I can kind of understand any of the like top 8, honestly. There's good arguments to be made, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see until we ride them, I guess. Really, all of them look so good, but Ride to Happiness, yeah, the testing definitely opened my eyes. Oh, yeah, pretty much. Just crazy. Third coaster I have is Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. My top 3 is the same, but as it's always been, obviously the pacing looks insane. The airtime is going to be super powerful, at least from the looks of it. And the death roll looks really good, but it's just going to be different, very different from Steel Vengeance as well, which is awesome. And the wave turn is, I believe, what that element looks also absolutely insane. The ride just overall looks like an absolute masterpiece. Florida enthusiasts should be very happy to be getting this, of course, along with Velocicoaster and Icebreaker. But man, like that's an amazing 3 coasters to get next year. But Iron Gwazi looks absolutely fantastic. My number 2 is Pantheon. This coaster keeps getting better and better, honestly, the more I keep looking at it. And the testing looked great, especially for its first test runs. The ride looks so good. Honestly, this coaster, oh my god. I don't know how to describe it, but I mentioned it in the video. I think it may have the best, like, a sequence of elements of any coaster in the entire world when you go, basically over the top hat. It looks that insane. It just has so many good elements. Obviously, you have that super steep top hat drop, the pretty tight turn that then leads into the Outer Banks hill that looks ridiculous, and then you have that the 0G stall, which is super long, so you're gonna get hang time while that thing is still moving. And then it throws in a few nice curves that should be intense, and then the wave turn looks like a really nice way to end the ride. The ride looks fantastic. Although I guess because the first part of it doesn't look that amazing, I kind of get why some people maybe aren't super excited for it. But honestly, I think this ride looks absolutely fantastic. Might honestly be my most anticipated coaster in the US. Like, I'm not kidding. Maybe I'm hyping it up too much, but this coaster looks amazing. All of these, I mean, the like I said, the top 8 do, but Pantheon, it's crazy. And number 1, I still have Conda. The more recent testing I saw, it looked a lot better. This coaster's layout is an absolute masterpiece, at least to me. The only problem is I thought that the non-inverting Cobra roll would be like a pretty cool element, and it still does look cool, but man, I guess it does kind of take away from the pacing. At least it is a unique element, but the pacing, it seems like it kind of gets hurt by that element, so it's unfortunate, but this ride still looks absolutely insane. Should be one of the absolute best coasters in the world. I cannot wait to get to this thing whenever I do. It looks absolutely insane. There's a good reason why a lot of people have this, are very excited for this, I should say. So, yeah. Yeah, alrighty, I'm gonna look through the comments now. I'll actually take this out. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go through the comments. Let me know if you guys like this sort of segment. This is something like totally new. I just kind of came up with sort of like last minute just to kind of go through something. Like, I guess it's sort of like a large topic, basically. Let me know if you guys actually like this. If not, I guess I won't do something like this again, but I'm just curious. So let me know in the chat if you guys liked something like this, because it was kind of new for me to do something like this extended during a stream. So yeah. All right, Top Guns look incredible. Yeah, they look so good. The pair must be number one. If I counted relocations, it definitely would be. Yeah. Jersey Devil looks like it will be a top 10 RMC. It looks really good. Of course, testing, but yeah. Yeah, having Jersey Devil right by you. I mean, I'm gonna probably be in that situation pretty soon. I mean, 2.5 hours from me, but hey, that's not too bad. Hopefully that still happens. The ride looks insane. Ride to Happiness looks amazing. Yeah, Time Traveler I've heard is amazing, so I can't even imagine what Ride to Happiness is even gonna be like. It's gonna be crazy. Let's see. Pantheon. Yeah, I know. I probably hype up Pantheon too much, but it looks so good. Honestly, I have considered putting it up over Conda. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm serious. Yeah. Pantheon, like I said, it looks so good. Yeah, and then Conda, like y'all are saying, it looks really good. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the kind of segment I did. Looks like you guys like it. That's cool. And with that being said, I'll move on to basically end of stream, which will be the last Q&A, and then I'll kind of give whatever announcements I have left here, which I think are kind of like basically the announcements I have are what I mentioned earlier with the channel announcements, but I guess I'll just kind of go through it again. But yeah, you guys can also do the end of stream Q&A, so you guys can still ask me any questions you have. But like I said, let me know, I guess, in the chat if you didn't hear earlier, if you would be interested in me doing an NFL draft live stream, because I mentioned that I did it last year. I kind of bounced between coasters and like my reactions to the pick and stuff, just because you have to wait a while in between picks. So I'm curious to see, like I said, if people are interested in that. And then also, like I said, next month I'll be going to Magic Mountain probably. I'll probably do a live stream for that, so look forward to that. A live stream kind of covering my updated thoughts and everything. And I'll be trying to release my next 2 Under the Radar coaster videos next month. So, yeah. And I guess I'll just say it now. The next 2 coasters I'm planning on doing for the Under the Radar coasters, Twist Coaster Robin was supposed to be kept a secret because I wanted to release it on March 19th, the day it actually opened. That did not happen, so just school kind of messed with things a little bit. So, yeah, I just saw a question. I'll address that real quickly. I think there's a misunderstanding. Yeah, Magic Mountain, yeah, I'm gonna be going back there, so I'm gonna be giving my thoughts, and yeah, so I was on the Under the Radar coaster thing. So yeah, Twist Coaster Robin's the next one I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna do Giant Skyrocket afterwards. So those are the next 2 I'm gonna do for Under the Radar coasters, 2 defunct coasters, but then afterwards I'll be coming back to actually like existing rides. So thought it would be pretty cool to do those 2. So yeah, look forward to that. Let's see. When I said the 2.5 hour thing, I was kind of referring to the Jersey Devil clone rumor to Magic Mountain. No, I'm not going to. I'm staying local for college. That's the plan right now. I'm doing community college here, so Clovis Community. So that's the plan right now. So no, not this. That I guess that was kind of hard to understand, but no, that's not. I'm not going to New Jersey, basically, or New York, or anything like that. I'm not. When I said a live stream, not a live stream at Magic Mountain. That might be chaotic. And it would also probably be during the week, so that probably wouldn't help. I would probably do it after. I would do it after I went, like probably a few days afterwards. Not actually at the park, because that might be difficult, because I've heard of all the issues that happen with like being live at a park, like with connection and everything. So yeah. I heard that Great America, yeah, that day is, I think, still staying. Yeah. The internet at Magic Mountain would probably be a bad thing too. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I'm like being close to Magic Mountain. I'm 2.5 hours from it. It is the second closest park to me. Great America is like literally a few minutes closer, but when you're talking like 2.5 hours, that's basically nothing. But it would be nice if I had a park closer by, but I do realize that it's pretty nice to be able to do both. Be able to do both a NorCal and a SoCal park in like 1 to 2 days, and not have to like go for longer just because of how far it is. That's a pretty good thing. Yeah. The Magic Mountain stream will probably happen, assuming like that's probably going to happen, assuming I actually get to ride like a bunch of stuff there. So just so I would actually have stuff to talk about. So yeah. Yeah, Great America is nice. Like basically I'm 2.5 hours from Magic Mountain, 2.5 hours from Great America, about about 3 hours from Discovery Kingdom, and it's like more like 4 hours to Knott's and Disneyland. So not too bad though. I think 4 hours, it's more than 4 hours, but it's like between 4 and 5 hours. So yeah. Yes, that's pretty much that. So like I said, any last questions you have, let me know. I'll probably stop at 2:05 unless like there's multiple questions coming through to where my answers would go past it. But 2:05 is probably when I'm gonna end it. And thank you guys all for watching. Like I said, I'll be having Coast Tunes on in the future. Just it couldn't work for today. Just with the time conflict and everything, just wasn't gonna work. So yeah. 14-hour flight from Magic Mountain. Yikes. That's pretty tough. But yeah, like I said, any questions you have. Yeah, Stamford Bridge has gotten on the original Colossus before. So if you didn't know that first drop, yeah, he's been on it. We've said it's like it was really good when it was like in its early years, so like that's pretty cool. I did the original Colossus as well, but it was in its last year and it was really bad. And Jason's about half an ocean from Magic Mountain. Yes, that's also pretty tough. Yeah. I mean, I actually prefer Knott's. I think I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but I prefer Knott's Berry Farm. I actually prefer it over Magic Mountain, but but Magic Mountain, obviously, it's a nice park to be close to. Yeah, the name Jersey Devil Coaster sucks. Jersey Devil, I like it. Jersey Devil Coaster, yeah, I think just calling it Jersey Devil would have been nice, but honestly, most people are gonna call it that, so I don't have an issue with it. It's kind of like Jurassic World Velocicoaster. It's too much, but everyone's just gonna call it Velocicoaster anyways, so it's fine. Like, and the same thing with like Medusa's Steel Coaster. Like almost everyone calls it Medusa's Steel, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not like Ride to Happiness, I guess. Yeah. I think doesn't look like there's any more questions, so I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream right around here. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time here on Coaster Hour. See you guys.